Jenny Winters from the Lake County Regional Office of Education. Today I'm going to talk to you about the new standards Illinois has adopted for 7th grade in the area of mathematics. Illinois is one of many states in our nation who have adopted these very same standards, and teachers all across the country are working hard to transition to these new expectations. This is a graphic to represent the language of the 7th grade standards. The words that are appearing the largest are the words that appear most often in the standards. So you can see 7th graders are going to be talking about probability, problems, numbers, rational numbers, area, because these words appear so often. These are the 4 critical topics for 7th grade: using proportionality understanding to solve problems, performing operations with rational numbers and expressions and equations to solve problems, solving problems involving area and circumference of circle and surface area of 3D objects, and comparing 2 data distributions and addressing questions about differences between populations. These are going to translate into units of study for our children. The first is a unit of rational number operations. In this unit, students are going to apply their understanding of fractions, decimals, and percents to solve lots of problems. In the next unit of study, students are going to learn how to compare and analyze data distributions, and this will help them prepare not just for college, but also for careers. In their third unit of study, 7th graders are going to learn about expressions, equations, and learning how to graph these in linear relationships on a coordinate plane. In their fourth unit, 7th graders will study ratios and proportionality and use those to analyze the graphs that they are learning how to construct in their previous unit. And finally, 7th graders will have a unit on geometric measurement, where they will be studying circumference, area, and volume of 3-dimensional figures. So how are our 7th graders going to be spending their time if they only have 5 units of study? Well, they're going to be representing their ideas in a variety of ways. One of those ways is the use of manipulatives and tools. They're going to learn about using a calculator and when it's not appropriate to use a calculator. But there are other tools for our 7th graders to use. They may use things like these fraction equivalency towers to help prove their reasoning when they're solving problems. They may use Cuisenaire rods to represent proportional relationships. They may use blocks to represent volume, or use figures like this, which will help them define surface area and volume of 3-dimensional figures. They may use fraction pieces that are circular or rectangular in nature to either solve problems or prove that their solutions are reasonable. We may see them using 2-color counters to help them with their integer work, or moving into algebra tiles or algebra blocks to help them solve problems or, again, prove that their solutions make sense. We may even see them using dominoes or dice or cards to help build their fluency with their calculations. We'll then ask them to translate all of those manipulative models into pictures or graphs. 7th graders spend a lot of time making graphs in the coordinate plane and analyzing graphs in the coordinate plane. They'll want to be able to translate between those and tables and charts, and also symbols, which include equations, expressions, and inequalities. We'll want our students to be able to read, write, speak, and listen about all of these representations to explain the relationship between them. And finally, we'll want them to be able to take all of these representations and apply them to real-world situations. The idea behind this is not just to be able to represent these ideas in these different modalities, but to be able to translate between and among the representations in these modalities, so that they can show the deep level of understanding they have of each concept. I hope that you are as excited about the deep level of understanding your children will develop in these new standards as I am. And I know that your child's teacher is anxious to begin this